my dear ninth graders. How are you? I hope that you had a wonderful day and now you are ready to be together with me and to dive into a good book. I know that you like reading, and there are a variety of books that we can choose to read. Today, I want to start this lesson in the following manner. We are going to discover the types of books. Are you ready? Let us start. Of course, among the various types of books, there are books of action and adventure. There are classic books that they are the basis of all other types of books. And the newest type of book are comic books, where you have the possibility to read every line from the character in that speaking bubble. Another type of books are detective books, and the most famous detective book of all the time is Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. Another type of book is fantasy book. This is a magical world filled with superpowers, magic, and beauty. And another type of book that is very interesting is historical fiction. It is a combination between fiction and history. So people try to change something in the history of humankind using some magical things. Horror books are sometimes thrilling, but for those who like this type of books, they are enthusiastic about them. Literary fiction. This is another type of books which give you the possibility to find something unusual in literature. Romance. I think that everybody likes romance because in these books we find out about a love story. Science fiction books. These are books that are combined with technology, discoveries, and everything that is connected with devices. Short stories. These are books that are very easy to read, and I know that children like them a lot. Thrillers. Of course, these are the books that we like the most, especially for those who want to solve a crime case. Women's fiction. These types of books are dedicated to women, and they come as a type of aid in solving women's problems. Biographies are books that tell us about the lifespan of a famous person. History books describe the most interesting and amazing things about history. Memoirs. These are books that are different from biographies. Memoirs usually contain the most impressive events and the feelings of the person who writes. Poetry is for those who like reading poems. Self-help, these are books that help people to overcome problems, to find the way from difficult situation, or they help people to get success, to think differently, and maybe to think even out of the box. True crime books are based on real crime cases, and in these books you can find out details and important things about how these real crimes happen. Cookbooks. These books are for those who like cooking and eating delicious food. In these books you can find a lot of recipes. And essays are books that contain thoughts, things, opinions about one subject or another, and you can read the author's view about them. So now, my dear friends, it's time for us to find out what is reading and what is reading for you, for me, and for everyone. So reading is diving into another world. Books play a significant role in our life. They say that when you open a book, you open a new world. I believe that everyone would agree with this statement, as books have become inevitable to mankind. For the majority of people, books are part of their everyday life. A book is like a best friend who will never walk away from you. Books are packed with knowledge, insights into a happy life, life lessons, love, fear, prayer, and helpful advice. One can read about anything under the sun. Books have been here for centuries, and without them, today's knowledge of our past ancestors, cultures, and civilizations would have been impossible. Have you ever thought what would have happened if intellectuals never documented their studies? On the 23rd of April, the world celebrates the World Book. This day is a celebration of authors, illustrators, books, and most importantly, reading. The main aim of the World Book Day is to encourage children to the pleasures of books and reading. The reason for choosing this particular date is interesting. The 23rd of April is a symbolic date for world literature because it is the date of death for many great authors and poets such as William Shakespeare, Miguel de Cervantes, William Wordsworth, and many others. So, my dear friends, why is reading important? Reading is important because it gives you the chance to expose yourself to new things, because reading means to discover a new world. Also, it improves ourselves, so we can understand that there are many other beautiful and outstanding things that we can do thanks to reading. We can improve our understanding, not because we just enrich our vocabulary and we get accustomed with some expressions, but also our mind gets broader and we understand many things that we couldn't till we started reading. We improve also our imagination. The books are the things that give us the possibility to imagine what the characters are, what they look like, what colors they like, what type of people they are. Also, books help us to reduce stress because we dive into this world living the real world outside, living all the problems. So this is a way of avoiding stressful situations. Also, reading improves our memory because you know that visual memory is the most developed. And we see words, we see pages every time when we want to remind or recall from our memory something. And of course, reading helps us to entertain. It's a funny thing. If you are in the mood, you can read something funny. You can read maybe a detective book if you want to find out new ways to discover something. Now, my dear friends, it's time for us to practice. So, till now, we discussed about types of the books, why the books are important, and of course, I'm going to test your memory. Choose the right answer. Action and adventure books are books in which the protagonist has an ultimate goal to achieve and is always put in risky, often dangerous situations, or they are presented to the reader through engaging sequential narrative art like illustrations, or these books are based in a time period set in the past decades. So, of course, you got the right answer because action and adventure books are books in which the protagonist has an ultimate goal to achieve and is always put in risky, often dangerous situations. Historical fiction books are based in time period set in the past decade, or are the books presented to the reader through engaging sequential narrative art like illustrations, because the first definition we have already discovered. And you are right that historical fiction books are based in a time period set in the past decades. Comic books. Of course, if you look at the slide, you will find easily the answer. So, comic books are presented to the reader through engaging sequential narrative art like illustrations. Fantasy books. Are they books that make your heart all warm and fuzzy, focusing on the love story of the main protagonists? Do they make use of supernatural and paranormal elements in morbid stories that are sometimes a little too realistic? Or their prose is meant to evoke deep thought through stories that offer personal or social commentary on a particular theme? Of course, fantasy books have their purpose that is meant to evoke deep thought through stories that offer personal or social commentary on a particular theme. Romantic books. My dear friends, look please at the slide, and I know for sure that you have already found the answer. Romantic books make your heart all warm and fuzzy and focuses on the love story of the main protagonists. Horror books. Look please at the slide and find the definition. Yes, you are right. Horror books make use of supernatural and paranormal elements in morbid stories that are sometimes a little too realistic. Now, my dear students, it's time for us to check understanding what we have read. Are you ready? Let's start. So, why are books important in people's lives? Of course, books, first of all, are like best friends. They give us the opportunity to dive in a new world that will change our life forever. What are books packed with? Well, they are packed with knowledge, with interesting and useful ideas. They also give us the possibility to live everything that the author and protagonist of the book lives. When do people celebrate the World Book Day? Of course, the World Book Day people celebrate on 23rd of April. So, the next question is, what is the reason for choosing this particular day? So, in the world of literature, this date commemorates the great writers who died on this day. So, these were Shakespeare, Miguel de Cervantes, and other authors. And I want to tell you that you did a great job today. And to finish this lesson, I want you to remember Jane Austen's words. The person, be it gentleman or lady, who has not pleasure in a good novel, must be intolerably stupid. Have a nice day, my dear students. Goodbye.